We all go a little mad. Get you.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Horror Hour, the place where we discuss, debate, and disagree on all things for this episode, Dragula. I'm one of the co-hosts, Yutaka. Hello. And I'm joined by my favorite, Liam.
Hello.
That's rude, making fun of me. We have a guest host, Kat.
Hello.
And then I am super excited because I'm always super biased because we have, oh my God, the incredible, the amazing Hoso Terra Toma.
As the legend, icon, and star Dita Ritz would say, bonjour, ladies. I am Hoso Terra Toma from Boulay Brothers Dragula Season 4. Wow, look at me go. I'm doing great. Hi, guys.
And let's first talk about this sickening look. Let's talk, I mean, oh my God.
Like, just stunning.
Oh my God, and the makeup. How long did it take to make that headpiece?
The headpiece I pulled out of my ass before doing this mini US tour, actually like 2 days, which is crazy. I do not like to work that fast, but like somehow it ended up working out that way. I was like staying up painting this shit, and here I am.
It's so amazing.
That is just...
Yeah, a little face
and
syringe sticking out. I think she turned out pretty cute. I've been very enjoying like making headpieces for stuff, because headpieces, if you like make it form-fitting enough to your head, it never falls off, and you just pop it on and go, you know. It's so much easier than wigs. So I've been enjoying the headpiece of it all.
I love it.
I like it.
So, well, normally we recap the shows and to all our listeners and people who watch us, and we try our best not to get into drama, but this just happens to be the reunion episode. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but then really we're just here to interview Hoso and talk about all of Hoso's looks through the course of the season.
Fuck yeah.
So hell yeah. But first off, aside from yours, what was your favorite look of the reunion?
Oh, fuck. My favorite look of the reunion, I mean, there are a lot of good looks. Formelda looked crazy. Every time it cut to Formelda, you know? I mean, yeah, Formelda's, and I really liked, I mean, Sigourney's is just so stupid and fun. She's a fucking cool-ass present box, and she just came out, I was like, that's me. And I was like, all right, girl, go ahead. Like, it was so funny. And that hair she got on too. I think she was wrapping it around with like Christmas ornaments like the night before. And I was like, what are you doing? She's like, it's a Christmas tree. And I was like, you know what? You better fucking work, bitch. Astrid's look is gorgeous. Like this little like gory Rudolph moment with like the torn off nose. So good. I think everyone served. Yeah, Mary as Jesus is so fucking funny. Like everyone served, I think.
Well, someone in this room didn't actually get that Mary was Jesus.
Who was thinking Father Christmas. I was like, oh.
Well, also it was so funny because the theme was supposed to be Black Christmas. I didn't have a Christmas look ready, and I was like, well, Diva, I'm gonna pull out this Halloween look with jack-o'-lantern sticking out that I made last year. Mary, can I borrow that Christmas bell? No, yeah, I'm just gonna put it here, right here. No, yeah, call it a Christmas look. No, yeah, let's go. Sometimes
it works.
You know, decorate to make it work. No, yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought you were a bit of a haunted Christmas wreath. That's what I got. I was like, oh, I hang that on my door.
That was absolutely the intention. No, yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Work, go with it.
Oh, absolutely.
To say, I think Yutaka is going to agree with us, but both of us were just so into Betty's look. Like it was a perfect recreation from obviously Batman Returns. So I was like
Oh my
super
god,
impressed with that.
Betty's look, oh, so good. I didn't even know it was a Batman Returns reference till like, and I love that movie. I felt so bad that I didn't get it, but like then after I looked at the side by side and I was like, holy shit, Betty, that's fucking fierce, you know?
It was a great like recreation of it. Betty looked
Definitely.
stunning.
So good.
Well, how does it now that it's been, announced, how does it feel to be part of the final four?
The final four, oh my god. No, it's everything I dreamt of, obviously, and I came into the competition, having nothing else in mind but like showcasing everything that I brought like entirely. And obviously that requires me being in the finale and everything, because I was just so proud of everything that I brought, and the fact that I got to showcase that and possibly have a chance of like representing this awesome experience and like this whole thing, it's just overwhelming. That's why I cried that hard when I'm sure we're going to talk about that moment, the ugliest cry that any human has ever let out, going, oh.
We've all been there.
That was such a great fake out from the Boulets, because when they did that,
no. Did you? I can't believe they included it, but after when it happened, I literally looked at them and said, fuck you. Fuck you.
I raged at my computer.
And they included it. And I was like, fuck you. And they were like, I'm sorry, I had to. And I was like, y'all evil motherfuckers.
My heart kind of broke, because this is the strongest top four. And I was really upset. And I always say I'm biased because I'm Asian, you're Asian. So I am always rooting for you.
Fuck yeah.
But
and like we only get 1 or 2 a year with Drag Race, like even like anyways. So I mean, this year they really was like, well, fuck us, they don't even have one person. So, but no, definitely, I exactly know what you're talking about, and like obviously me having experience with that, but watching these shows, like relating to the Asian person, rooting for the person, but definitely I have received so many messages from like fellow Asian queer people being like, hey, so good to see you slaying, so good to see you like bring the culture into your drag, like so good to see you representing. And it just makes me like, it fuels me to like go even harder with it, be more unapologetically. My bio says, and it has been a mantra for my drag for a very long time, it's maliciously chinky. And it's just like unapologetically, like that's all what I'm about. So I'm super glad that people have been like super well responsive to that, definitely.
For me, that was, I think, representation is important in just media in general. And I loved the fact that you brought your culture to a lot of your looks. And I'm always happy just to see someone that I can relate to on screen. And so I just had to throw that out there before I let one of the other two co-hosts ask a question, but I just had to fawn over you for that moment, because to me, it's really important that we get to see ourselves on TV. And so having you just killing it with I can't wait to talk about my favorite look, but these looks and to be in the finale, it makes me so happy and so proud of you. So
thank you so much. No, yeah, that means so much to me, obviously. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust okay, there we go. But no, yeah, thank you for that. That's like the fan messages about it have just been such a, because being part of this kind of an experience, you can get wrapped up in like the negative comments, you can get wrapped up in so many things and be upset about that. But when you choose to like actually acknowledge the positivity of it and like the positive messages and the people that do root for you, it just makes the experience so much better. And you actually see like who's rooting for you and who's important that you like pay attention to. And that's just something that I like had to learn through this. But no, yeah, fuck yeah.
I love it. I'll let Liam or Kat ask a question.
Kat, as your first time, I will let you
Oh,
go.
you talk like throughout the season. I've noticed that you haven't really been involved in other people's, the tension and the drama. How hard is it to keep away from that and not have your own piece, just to say like, hey guys, shut the fuck up, like,
Well,
what the fuck?
House full of drag queens. It's, you know, that's a lot of awful bitches in the same room. No, I'm just kidding. No, definitely a lot of things were going on, but then I sometimes kind of, I don't know how it happened actually. When I did get involved, and even then, I didn't really get involved in anything like direct, like throughout the season. I had arguments. And like I definitely had like talk back and forth, but then it was always a discussion. It was always like I never got wrapped up in all of that, which I'm so thankful that I didn't. And I'm just really not the type of person to entertain that, I guess. Especially when it doesn't directly involve me. I'm not the person to like jump in and like, oh wait, let me be included in this too, because I could have easily done that for the screen time or whatever reason. And it's reality television by the end of the day, but I don't know. And most of the time, and this is a fact, most of the time I didn't have time to do that because I was working on my stuff like constantly because, I had very little time frame getting ready, and I make all of my stuff, all of the garments that I showcase in the show, except for the Ghost Ship Glamour one, I made myself with like, my drag daughter helping me sew like by me, So, yeah, most of the time I was just busting ass, didn't really have time, like over there, Betty and Jada screaming at each other, and over there, Mary and Sigourney screaming at each other. I'm just trying to get this dress pattern done, man. I don't know what y'all on about.
Just get
I'm
trying to sew.
But then you know what? That's not fair for Sigourney because Sigourney was also like that. Sigourney, like most of the time, was just like working on her stuff, just like I can't be bothered to do this. Sigourney's a hard worker. Like not that anyone else in this cast isn't, but like Sigourney specifically, like she was just like busting ass right beside me, like for almost every challenge.
Good. So I have to ask, obviously, as we've now all seen the reunion, was there anything that happened within the reunion that shocked you?
That shocked me? Oh my God, Coco. Fuck yeah. Because I was like, holy shit, Coco. Damn. Coco's Dragula now. Like, like y'all don't realize, like watching the episode obviously feels like that. But even during filming, we were like, this episode is gonna like solidify fan favorite like placement for Coco because Coco didn't take any step back. Coco just went in, this, and everything was just meticulous. Like it was awesome. It was like glorious to see it happen in person, And I love Coco so much. That individual, like, oh God, I love Coco so much. But like, no, yeah, definitely Coco. Not that I didn't believe she was capable of that because like she's a bad bitch and we all knew that she was a bad bitch at that point, but like, god damn, bitch, god damn,
Yeah, I feel that as watching that, as soon as Coco spoke up, I'm like, holy shit. I was like, I wish I had popcorn.
When Coco was just like pressing her lips together while Mary was talking and clacked the fan open, I was like, oh, shit's about to go down. And I was like, bitch, Mary, you better cover your ass, cause bitch. Oh, okay. No, yeah, definitely.
Coco, definitely. I love Coco. We're gonna get to chat with Coco later in the week, and we can't wait. But yeah, that reunion I think was, as you said, that was Coco's moment.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm so happy the top four were there, but Coco.
Coco. And other than that, everything that was discussed was, everything that happened, nothing really, everything got brought back up, chewed, swallowed back. Some of them digested, some of them didn't. But you know what? That's just how drag queen drama goes, you know?
That's true.
Not
Yeah,
everyone can get
everyone
along.
goes.
Not everyone can hash it all out.
Some people just don't like each other, and that's the way life's gonna
That's
be.
fine. We don't have to all like each other, you know? Especially when we're all drag queens and we're all awful and we fundamentally
I don't believe
awful
that.
people. You know, it all rolls out that way.
I think while Coco may be the one of the fan favorites, I think one of my favorite things about you on the show and is just your personality, because the moment you came in, though, you were just a ball of fun. You were so excited to be there. And so I'd like to know really just the emotions when you finally walked into the boudoir for the first time.
It's surreal because like I am, you know, when from a couple of seasons ago, there's like these drag race queens that walk in and say, oh, I started drag because of this show. Like I'm Generation Wu, like that's like their thing, you know? And these young queens that like started drag because of Drag Race. Dragula is that for me, you know? There's a funny joke that we like to say, like, because their thing is Generation Wu, right? I'm Generation Boo.
Yeah.
You know, I started drag watching Dragula the first season, and it blew my fucking mind. And I was like, this is what I want to do. Because, you know, when I first started drag was around the time when Kimchi also got introduced to Drag Race. And that was like the first big Korean queer moment for like anything really. And like, you know, Korean people didn't even know, like even gay people didn't even really know what drag queens were. And a lot of the times, and I was just like, wow, like that is really cool. Like I was a fan of Kimchi and I was a fan of Drag Race, obviously, but then I didn't really see myself doing it. But then Dragula came along and I was like, oh, this is all about, like, because I was at that point like an animation major. I would love to create stories. I love to create characters and tell story with them. But then to the idea of like becoming that character with costumes and makeup and just living in that character, telling stories on stage, that was like, oh, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And like, yeah, no, I just got like immersed into it so quickly. And to be on that very same stage that like inspired me to do so is like one of the craziest like full body like sensation that you can have. Like I still remember the first floor show and that other mother look, like in that like and that stage, like how I just came in, started performing, and I just was like an out of body experience. Just couldn't believe I was there. And yeah, fuck, like no, yeah, you can't describe that feeling, honestly.
Well, speaking of the other mother, I want to like, so obviously first episode airs, everyone sees you as the other mother. Obviously online went crazy that you didn't win, me included. How did that make you feel, like looking at the comments?
Like awesome, like obviously, like because you know, me and Astrid that day, like backstage, we were just like looking at each other like, yeah, it's like me or you, you know, like it's me or you. You're like, you know, it's your look or my look. Whichever wins, like whatever, you know. And I was happy that Astrid won. But then afterwards, seeing like the fan reactions and like seeing like how people were like living for this look, that first stage, like that first Dragula floor show experience was just like a pivotal point in my life. You know, just like such an experience that like the fact that so much positivity is surrounding it, you know, like regarding the look, regarding like how it was perceived, I couldn't be happier with it, you know?
My niece
It
loved
was just perfection.
Sorry?
Like I would say it was just like, it was perfection.
Thank you.
Like, because Coraline's one of my favorite films, so I was just like, ah!
Oh yeah, definitely.
As soon as she
Coraline,
went on stage, I was just getting, this is amazing.
and like I said, Coraline is like, you know, for my generation anyways, one of the first horror movie experiences. And like Other Mother like is ingrained into our brains as a child as this like iconic horror villain, and I know I can say the same for a lot of people that's similar to my age, and I just wanted to like bring that. It felt very authentic to what I like. I didn't have a second choice, honestly. I was like, I either do Other Mother, or I'm gonna have to like bust something out of my ass because this is like actually like what I want to do from the get-go. This was the first look that I planned like through the whole thing. Like, yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I will be honest, I was rooting for Astrid because Alien is my favorite film of all time. So,
Yeah.
but I will say,
and so is it, and you know, Alien is also Blade Brothers' favorite movie of all time. So honestly, I didn't really stand a chance, you know. They're like, because there was no
Okay,
way,
yeah.
like, you know, they saw that amazing xenomorph look and was like, you know, obviously I believe that they do like Coraline and they do like the character of Other Mother, but when it comes down to it, you know, and it's their show, they can do whatever the fuck they want. And if they like enjoy the character more and it speaks to them more personally, and if that pushed it over the edge to win, you know, like, fuck yeah, you know.
but yours was such like, I was not expecting that, and just the look, the design, and this is also for me first, and maybe for so many, getting to see you perform though. Damn, like you were living it and it showed.
I was like screaming on stage too, you know. I was like almost doing like I was doing an acting challenge on that stage, okay? I was like screaming lines from the movie as the Other Mother.
That's
And
amazing.
I think it really like pulled through. Obviously, you know, with how it's edited, like you can't like, obviously, like, you know, the mic isn't recording that, but like I just did it for myself, just to like live in that character on that stage, just be fucking crazy, you know. And
Live the fantasy.
yeah. I will say throughout the season, I was probably one of the loudest ones on that floor show, because every fucking floor show, I was screaming, I was hollering, I was saying shit, and they were like, "Bitch, does that bitch know that we have loud ass music playing in the background? Like, shut the fuck up and do the floor show." But like, it helped me live the fantasy, you know.
You'll have to bring the Other Mother to a show in Australia so I can take my niece.
Oh my god,
She'll love it.
my costumes this season are so bulky, huge, and pain in the ass to travel with. I'm so sorry to say it, but Other Mother again is like another costume that I wouldn't even dare to try to travel with.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I might want to make it like more travel sized version of it, just to like bring it, because it's so well received. But like, oh god,
People
yeah,
would go
that's a
nuts
giant
for it.
costume. And I'm like a tall person. People don't really realize that I'm like 5'10". Is it? I don't use feet, so I don't know exactly, but I'm like 180 centimeters, and like, which is I think like 5'10" ish.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
like I'm a tall person, and with shoes and like with like costume and fabric like all around me, and like this giant headpiece, like I was like the biggest on that stage like couple of times, like on the floor shows. And these costumes are so bulky and huge. It's awful. It's awful to travel with.
But at least they look good.
Yeah, they look great.
What was it then, you know, to get the call though, I think in general, being, you know, one of the first queens from that area, or, you know, drag performers from that area, to come over to the States to perform? Well,
Oh,
wait,
fuck it.
no, kimchi, that's a terrible question.
No. I am, well, I know Kimchi. Like Kimchi has messaged me after Dragula and was so sweet about it, actually. But no, what I was trying to say is I'm the first performer from South Korea
Yes.
to be on this kind of a stage, to kind of a because Kim is an American drag queen. Kim started in America as Kim, you know, as an American drag queen. I'm a Korean drag queen. I've started drag in Korea. Before this show, I've never done drag in the States, except like for that like one time that I came here for like one gig. But like, you know, like I'm so fucking proud to be a Korean drag queen. I'm so proud to be an HBCU representation, which is a town that I live in. And to be the first one and have it, you know, it's such a gag because because of my aesthetic and because of how I do it, and like, you know, Korea is a very showgirl based scene there, and I'm one of the only people doing alt drag with my drag sister there. And you know, we were not accepted, we weren't getting booked, you know, they weren't even considering us drag queens. But then for me to be the first representation from it and, you know, make it on this platform, it's kind of like cathartic in a way, you know, as like the outsider within the outsiders. Yeah, no, it's fucking awesome. Couldn't be prouder.
Because you're the first from the entire Asia Pacific, which is just insane. Like,
Fuck yeah.
It's just incredible. And it's the same here in Australia. Like, there is no alt drag here. It's all very classic showgirl stuff and a couple of comedy things. But I'd love to see more alt drag here. It'd be amazing. Maybe I'll do it.
And I make it very clear on that episode that I won too. And like, it means so much to me because like, I want to push, like, because especially I can only speak for like the Asian community when it comes to it, but like Asian drag community is kind of put into this box that white people put us into, essentially, that like Asian girls are more fit to do this like glam showgirl like type drag because whatever reason, you know, we like it's better for you guys because you guys can paint fish like quicker, or like, you know, like because of your facial structure or like whatever reason, and they're like, oh, like that's an Asian girl, she's gonna do like a pretty showgirl thing, but like and you know you know, look pretty, but then it's this box that like, you know, if a POC performer like me wants to break out of that box and want to do something unconventional, want to do something punk, want to do something like alternative, like we should be free to explore outside of that without having to worry about not getting booked, or you know, without like worrying like this side comments from people, you know. This goes for, I feel like this goes for a lot of POC performers in general. Like that's why, like, I mean, alt scene of anything is very white centric, I will say. And I just want to say, like, it's just not like, it's not just for white people, you know. Like I want to see, like, when they announced the season 5 casting us, like, I want to see some spooky yellow bitches up in here.
Yes,
please,
me too.
let's do it. So fuck yeah.
I'll say yes, we're spoiled here in the States with the alt scene. And I will say though, we don't like, you know, when you look at the competitions, it is primarily, for the longest times, it is the majority is, you know, white. Occasionally there's a few POC queens, and hopefully soon we'll see more kings on these shows as well.
Structure. It's definitely the structure, because like it's not like the Boulay brothers are like looking to not cast POC performers, if anything, you know, but like that's definitely not the case. It's just that there is so little auditioning. There's so little out there that knows that this is a possibility. And that is why this needs to be a thing, and we have to keep continuing on and like spread the word. Like, no, you can go outside of the box. You can pursue this aesthetic if you want to, you know?
This was,
and we want to see it as well, which is I think the main part.
Yeah.
I mean, this was one of the most, I think, diverse seasons that just in reality TV for me, because there was just so much representation just across the board of so many different, you know, just everything. And I loved it.
The season cast is awesome. Definitely.
Highest, I would say it's been the best caliber of Dragula contestants, because every week you've never known who was going to go.
Tight fucking competition, eh? Like literally, like tight fucking competition. As we went, it was more and more very evident that like you cannot drop the ball in this cast. Like any little thing will be blown out of proportion and land you in the bottom because the magnifying glass is on. The Boulets had to like split hairs trying to judge us every single time. Yeah, no, fuck. And look at this top four, the track record really like doesn't matter at this point. Like it's such a tight competition.
Yeah, because all four of you are phenomenal.
Thank
And
you.
you have had an amazing season across the board. All of you have produced amazing looks. You have had an amazing viewing. Like, so it's nice to see that you have been able to get to the top four rather than the top three. Because I think you were all very like consistently good.
Fuck yeah.
What was your that we've seen? What has been your favorite look of the season for you of the looks that you've presented?
That I presented. The clown, definitely. The clown is so personal and important to me too. The symbolism and the story that I put behind it, the concept itself, I just like put my heart and soul into when it comes to like my culture and stuff, and I personally know the risk of doing that. I personally know that American audience, including the judges, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to not know about this, like, like cultural reference that obviously, like American educational system's not going to teach them, because why would they, but it's not a bad thing to not know about that. But I did it because I personally knew that I would be fucking proud to present that on that stage and have people recognize it, Korean people recognize it and feel seen. That's the one thing and I've had so many like Korean people, not only Korean people and Asian people in general, that like get the reference. It's like, hey, I know what you're doing. I get what you're doing and I feel seen. So thank you for doing that. And that's why I did it. And I don't give a fuck that like, I might have gotten critiqued poorer than like what I would have gotten doing a more American performance. Like, I don't give a shit about that. I care about the cause that it brings, and what it means to my art. And the fact, like, that clown look is, I explained it briefly on the show, I think, but it is like a combination of 16th century Korean exorcists called mudang, which were clowns in their own right, because they would do all these circus tricks and they would chant and like they were clowns of their time, and incorporate that and kind of cover that in like a Western clown aesthetic. And I don't know, that just like speaks to my drag so much. And I was doing like the chanting on stage. I was having so much fun. I had all these like traditional paper mache theater masks that like the clowns used to use back in the day, and I was swirling them around. The chicken that Bob didn't get was a reference to how they would start off the ritual, which is the clown would have a sword, which I also had, and cut off head of the chicken with it to start off the ritual. And that was a reference to it. And I did explain it. It got cut out, whatever, that's fine. The show can only be so long, and I didn't expect it to get included, and that's totally fine. But, that's just something that, I have to strive online to like, hey, like, just so you know, I just didn't do that for funsies,
Now that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
I partially didn't get that, so, but I also live in the Midwest, so my my education to Asian culture is not the best.
No, it's not an embarrassing thing to not know, because like, why would you know? Like, this is such a niche cultural representation, like not representation, niche cultural reference. Koreans would get it because they grew up around it, but and that's all, like, Koreans like actually DMing me being like, hey, I understood it, that's all I need, honestly.
Yeah. Like, looking back, because it's obviously you've had yourself, who's obviously strived to make sure that your culture was seen through your drag, through your performance. You've had Laza Valletta making sure that they pushed and made sure that they had their cultural representation shown as well. Saint obviously had shown on the show that she was trying to obviously push to make sure that she was seen as well in that way. Did like with all three of you trying to like have that as well, did you know you were this like similar in that way?
Oh,
Or
I
was
mean,
it just like something you found out after the show?
I got close with a lot of people in this cast, but at the end of the day, the people that I got close the most from this cast were the people who were putting their heart and soul, in a sense that they were bringing culture and like their own representation and culture and what that meant to them in their drag. Zabaleta in that way, and I just like connected so hard because hearing her story about that Weird Wild West look, and how she saw me try to bring some of that into my drag, and like we connected on that level so hard. We connected in this fact that we had to learn English as a second language. We have to work twice as hard, three times as hard, as people who get treated as, but then I don't know. Yeah, like me and Zava just like grew to like find so much common ground in each other. I love that person so much, and Saint too, like everyone in this, like I said in that cauldron, like as Sigourney pointed out too, like every single one of us has something that we represent and bring into our drag in that way. Sigourney like brings an experience of being a woman, like a cis woman in her, like not even, but like, okay, let me rephrase that. Sigourney brings like experience of being a woman in the scene in her drag too, like and Saint, like everyone, so I think that's just like important to keep in mind while watching, especially this season too.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's been beautiful to watch as a viewer, seeing everyone being able to get their culture across. Because usually when you see shows like this, people attempt it, doesn't always get obviously edited in the way that makes it come across good.
And that's
to see it come across well is obviously it must be lovely for you to know that you did something and it came across well, and then obviously to know that people are appreciating it as well. Just must be like, I'm trying to think of the word, like I can't think of the word. Like it just must be good to feel that it's been seen, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Fuck yeah. No question.
You mean that it's being received is what I
That's
think.
it. That's it.
That's the one.
I think Liam's trying to be polite and be like, unlike on Drag Race, how they edit. No, this season of Dragula has been actually really great, and I think all the contestants or competitors have had a time to shine. I think there's been good, there's been bad. I think the fandoms got a little crazy this season. Let's hope that never happens again.
A little bit, and I will say this outright, and I think it needs to be said. The wave of Drag Race fandom that came into Dragula fandom recently has been really nasty. They have been nasty, evil, and all around no good.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't care if I get attacked for saying that, but these Drag Race stan accounts that be watching Dragula and talk shit, like I wouldn't mind if they stopped watching, because fuck you.
They're pretty nasty, the comments, and
they're the ones who's sending me racial slurs on my DMs. They're the ones sending me like these nasty comments on my DMs and like of comments and stuff. For a lot of other people in this cast too, they're the worst. So like I know for a fact, and I'm not generalizing, I'm saying this is a specific group of people and specific types of people that should fuck off.
Yep. Nope. I'm 100% they should fuck off. We were, I think Liam and I, we were talking with Phil Nobile Jr. Gosh, I always get messed up on his last name, but we're talking with Phil and we're like, it's not common to see what happened with that came into the Dragula fandom, because we don't expect that. So that's Drag Race fandom, to where they get nasty, they break down competitors, they send death threat, like, and that shouldn't happen, period. But sadly it does. it was shocking to see that happen or come into Dragula, because no one should get that in general. But it really kind of broke my heart to see that, because I think it takes a lot to put yourself out there, let alone, you know, on a national stage, global actually. And to just, you know, get that, it bugs me, it irritates me, it shouldn't happen. And I'm sorry it did, because I may be a fan of Drag Race, but I'm certainly not that type of fan. But I was gutted and disgusted, because that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, definitely. It's fucked.
What has it been like to perform in the States recently now, after after, you know, having episodes aired and people getting to know you more?
It's been a fucking blast. Like, honestly, like it's crazy to be in a room full of people who are there to see what I do and really fucking appreciate the type of drag that I do, and like know and that aesthetic that I do. Because obviously, audience in Korea, I have my audience there, and like I love performing there. It's always gonna be my hometown, always gonna be my home bar. But people there expect certain things when it comes to drag, and like they might love what I do by the end of the show, but then when I first come out, it's always that you know, like that feeling that I enjoy. I very much enjoy startling people with what I do and like being the freak show. But sometimes it's really good to feel really belonged, you know, when it comes to your art. And that's where I felt doing drag here last couple times. And like, you know, I'm going to Austin, Texas tomorrow and like performing there, like, and people have already DM'd me being like, I'm so excited to see you, I love you from the show. And that's something that I haven't experienced before, and that's like just so overwhelming. Just feel so overwhelmed with love, you know.
I would lose my literal shit seeing you like come on stage. I've been looking at the tour dates, trying to see if I can ask off, because I definitely want to, like, I was like, oh, I know you're gonna be Chicago, but I can't make that date. But I'm looking, and I keep messaging like promoters. I'm like, bring Hoso to St. Louis, please. I think you had shared somebody on Twitter. It was the Neon Genesis theme song, and you came out and your the Exorcist look, or like with the, and I was like, oh, that's such a good edit. That's amazing.
I know. I
one of the angels coming out, and it's going to, oh.
I want to do that so bad. I'm actually doing a Evangelion number while I'm here in the States. But fuck yeah, I mean, people just like, also, it's not like I'm doing this on a Dragula stage again, you know. This time I can actually bring whatever the fuck I want to do, and if people don't get it, whatever. But I know there's going to be people in the audience that like the geeks that love and understand what I do, and that's like, fuck, you know, them coming up to me after the show being like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that song, or like, can't believe you did that reference, fuck yeah, this is why I love you. And that's just such a great feeling.
I would literally be throwing all my money if I saw Evangelion number. I'm like, oh my god, I'd be pushing people out of the way so I could give you tips. I would be geeking out. Well,
speaking of, here's my Venmo,
which we will put in the description and all of that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
What are some of your favorite, you know, like your fandoms and geekdoms that you'd like to bring into some of your performances and costumes?
Oh wow, I mean, I'm such a huge nerd that there's such huge repertoire of references that I like to bring. So I don't know if I can pinpoint, but very recently I feel like I've been doing a lot of, I don't know, this headpiece also is just very like kind of Lovecraftian in a way, but also like Ito. I take huge inspo from Junji Ito, whatever the fuck I do. And yeah, no, definitely. And it's always constantly changing though, changing my references and everything.
It reminds me of Charlie the Unicorn. You know that YouTube video where he's got like the faces floating down.
Yeah.
That's my favorite video at the moment.
Then, well, Liam, do you have I don't want to. I feel bad when I monopolize.
No, okay.
Oh, okay. So, because Liam's normally like,
I know you've got like a lot of questions. So
I
I'm
do.
just like,
I really. I've been already talking with like. So, Hoso, I think one of my favorite things is the fact that you make these headpieces, and I'm just wondering what's your next headpiece that you're making, because it's so fabulous. It's amazing. And I'm curious to know what you're working on next, because you really you just have a talent with that.
Thank you. No, I just have a bunch of sketches that I do that are more abstract shapes and stuff. And I was like, oh, this would be great if I made in this material, and if I made it like that and I had it growing out of my head. I love having shit grow out of me like this, very motif of everything that I do, my promo look, my name, Terra Toma, tumor-like growth, relating to my experience with cancer. Everything I do is very that energy. So I don't know what my next headpiece journey is gonna be. Let's see, Gorge. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what the inspiration brings me, Diva.
Speaking of your cancer journey, how was it to kind of open up and talk about that, on Dragula?
Oh, I mean, it was important that, I don't know. I wasn't like trying to bring it up like adamantly, but I definitely thought it would be important and nice for me to share for people at home to see. And sorry, I'm gonna turn off the notification on my phone real quick. It's kind of making a noise. There we go. Okay, cool. No, yeah, definitely was very important for me to share, because especially seeing a lot of the messages afterwards that fans have sent me, which has been like, hey, I also am immune compromised. I also have a similar experience with chemo and cancer, and it made me so motivated and seeing that you shared that like that and was thrown vulnerable with it, and that's essentially what I did, why I did it. And also, I can't really not talk about it when it comes to explaining my drag and kind of talking about my drag, because it has been such a huge part of it for a while now, since 2019 to be exact, since I did chemotherapy. I don't know, my last name that came in afterwards, Terra Toma, is a reclamation of that. Terra Toma is a type of tumor that develops that grows eyeballs and teeth. It's actually really gross if you search it up. But I felt like I wanted to become a Terra Toma and just kind of become the tumor that took over as a reclamation,
Mm-hmm. I think it was wonderful for you to show it.
I feel like definitely kind of chemo also kind of prepared me for Dragula in a way. I talk about it very briefly, but that experience makes you look at life, look at things in general in a completely different lens, different angle. How you think about life, how you think about materials, how you think about art, how you think about your worth in this world, and how you think about your time in this world and how you spend it. Just everything changes for you. And second, it prepares you for it. I learned how to rationalize pain and fear through that experience. I learned how to push through it, and I learned how to rationalize it in my brain to not harbor more resentment or emotion around doing those things. That's why I'm more upset about my look not being understood than fucking doing an extermination, if you see it, because that holds more meaning and value to me. I think, and overall, I think definitely chemotherapy prepared me for Dragula, but also just like pushed me to, I don't know, being put into perspective that you might not have a guarantee for a long future makes you kind of grow faster in every facet of the way. I had to like develop me as a person, my art, my English fluency, like everything very quickly to achieve more in a given amount of time. Not that I have like a given amount of time to live, like it's nothing like that, but like as an immunocompromised person, you always have to live like whatever you put out is going to be, you're going to be happy it being the last piece of artwork that you make, you know, worst case scenario.
No, but I mean, it makes sense. I understand that. It's, yeah, that, I mean, that's really actually, I'm immunocompromised, but not in that way. But I can tell you when it came to COVID and everything, you know, I didn't step outside the house. Even still, I'm very, very cautious, but I think one of the biggest things that I ended up missing was live drag. And so, you know, I get certain aspects of what you mean. And like I said, I didn't understand the reference, but having this meaning behind it, though, it makes more sense now. And so,
no, yeah, definitely. And that's why, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people have been telling me, like, if you have to explain the look, it like, you know, like, what's the point? But then, no, I think it's important to talk about art. I think it's important to discuss and like explain and discuss about the explanation about what that art means to the artist, what that art means to the viewer. I think it's important to have conversations around that. I might even go farther to say that not wanting to that is lazy when it comes to a viewer that's trying to consume art.
I mean, it's subjective, so I get what you mean, but yeah, because sometimes we may perceive it as something else. So having either a backstory or just a better understanding it.
And not understanding or having a different interpretation of it is completely fine. You know, that's something that's a completely fine thing to do, but not even putting forth the effort to try to find out or hear out the explanation of what the original intent was. To me, that just tells me that you just don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because I will say, I got advised that I'd been thinking about your weird Wild West look wrong this whole time. I thought you were a cactus.
I was.
But, oh, you were a cactus. Oh, so I was right. Someone told me you weren't
it was
a cactus
look.
So I was like, oh, so I was wrong all this time. God damn it.
Who's telling you you're wrong?
This one wasn't me. That wasn't me. I still didn't get the look. I loved it, but I didn't get it.
I was like, oh yeah, they're a cactus.
I will say, I don't know what there is not. It's cactus cowboy. That's weird, and that's Wild West. Cactus lives in deserts. I was a cactus cowboy. I was wearing like fringes and stuff. I don't know, and I had like guns coming out of my head. I don't know. I just thought that there was like, I was like, what is there not to get? But like, whatever.
Well,
you know?
On our recap, I was like full on defending it. Like, no, they are a cactus. They're a cowboy disguised as a cactus because it's in the middle of the desert, and that's how you get around.
And I'm
we
like,
didn't get it.
Like, what?
And then multiple people started telling us I was just wrong. So I was like,
well,
I'll just accept that I'm wrong then.
We still had
I feel redeemed.
Gaslit.
Great. Oh my goodness. When we get to sit down with your regular girl, Liam's just gonna be like, you were wrong. I was right.
I saw that. I love Irregular to death, but like, girl, what is there not to get?
What did she say again? Oh, it was a little
like,
like,
I don't get it. It was a
the
crab.
green crab.
Like, girl.
Yeah, that was it.
But whatever. I'm not bitter.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna think about that forever.
Not rely on other people to get my look. I'm just kidding. Wait, and the hell. Ah.
Hey!
Wow, can you believe that this giant Wigs by Tips hair was underneath that tiny headpiece? Oh my god, what a trick. I'm so
Who
talented.
knew there was room?
I'm so talented, it's kind of unbelievable.
That headpiece has leg room.
Absolutely.
Since we are a horror channel, I do have to ask, are there any horror films this past year that you've really enjoyed?
Fuck yeah. Anything that Ari Aster does. I mean, granted, he's only done 2 films. Ari Aster's movies. Ugh, I just fucking love them. And in a similar vein, I love movie that really shakes me to the core. Like after the movie, like viewing, I'm like, what the fuck did I watch? I don't know if you guys seen the Korean horror movie Wailing, The Wailing.
Yeah.
It
I have
is
not yet.
Oh my gosh.
It is my favorite horror movie of all time. I think it's the most effective horror movie. Like in my eyes, I think it's the most emotionally affecting horror movie of all time. It's beautifully and I mean masterfully crafted, and the acting in it is so meticulous, and there's so many elements to it that the horror movie fans would love. It's a long movie, but it's so worth it to go through it.
I know it's straight. I will have to watch that today.
I cried, but
it affects you. It affects you emotionally, affects you, like it startles you. And I love that. I love feeling things because I hate like the Conjuring series or whatever, like when it's like a mindless jump scare. I it's the cheapest form of horror there is. Like I just like, you know, and I love when a film creeps up on you and emotionally scars you, you know.
Oh my. Oh, I'm really excited to watch this now.
Oh
I got
yeah.
that with Martyrs. I'm still to this day terrified of Martyrs. I can't watch it again.
Okay.
I've been thinking about a rewatch.
I'm really excited. Okay. All right.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Well, Liam or Kat, do you have a question?
Oh no, I'm fine. Okay.
It's the Yutaka show.
my
I
question's out.
apologize, guys.
No,
I'm so sorry.
You've been so excited about this. So
I have. Well, I've
let
got
you
one more
have your
question,
moment.
because I certainly don't want to take up too much of Hoso's time. But Hoso, do you have anything you want to plug?
Sorry?
Do you have anything you want to plug? Any upcoming shows?
I can well, I don't know when this is gonna be out. So I don't
probably
know
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, then I can well tomorrow, the day this airs then, is gonna be my Austin, Texas show, which you can I'm not gonna go down the line like reciting every
you don't have no, you're fine.
But what you can do is go to my Instagram, and the latest post that I have, I think second latest post I have, is a tour date guide and with the flyers up there, and so you can get tickets and stuff there, links and stuff, everything. So if you want to check out where I am in the States and during this winter, I'm going to stay around for a month or so, and I'm just tour around, go around doing gigs and every little crevices and corners of this country. And I'm doing actually an Edmonton, Canada date as well. So if you live in Canada and if that's somewhere that's near you, but yeah, come see me perform. It's going to be a fucking blast. Some of it's going to be a viewing party. One of it is going to be a viewing party of the finale. And fuck yeah, let's just enjoy drag, have fun, you know.
Yeah, and I'll put all the links. I'll put links to your Insta, Twitter, if you have Venmo, Cash App, all of that will be in the descriptions. I'll even edit that into here so you all can see. And then I just want to say thank you to Hoso for joining us. This has been lovely, and I'm still starstruck.
Oh my God. I feel like we barely talked about the reunion at all.
Well, but we can still talk about the reunion if you want. But
okay.
We were just that excited to speak to you.
We really were.
we can just like go through like quick points of what happened if you guys want to, but like
absolutely we can. I guess we did talk about what was most shocking, which was Coco coming out of came out to wasn't messing around. I am kind of curious because what was it like then to also, because I've also been following the Twitter romance and I just really love that they talked about it, this lovely little budding relationship with
Oh.
you and Astrid.
I just took her to the airport like a few hours ago. Because she was
Oh.
in LA. No, yeah, we had a lovely little we had a little date. It was so fun. No, Astrid and I, been like known each other a little bit before Dragula online, but like that's just a blessing. Like one of the best things to come out of this experience is my relationship with Astrid and like how fucking special it is for me. And I don't know, that person is just, I love that person so much. It's crazy how much I can relate to that person, how much like we talk about art and like how like kind of, I don't know, we have like very much similar energies towards everything, like towards drag especially. And I really enjoy that. We like kind of connect very well. And no, yeah, fuck yeah. Like during that reunion, we were just like the emotions were so high. And I remember her just like coming up to me and just hugging me like when the whole thing with the fake out happened. And because when that fake out moment happened, like you can see me kind of closing my eyes
Mm-hmm.
and like swallowing the like I was like, okay, this sucks, but I'm gonna close my eyes, swallow like everything for like 5 seconds. They make it seem like it was much longer. It's like
They did.
the angles, they got into it pretty right away, so it wasn't horrible. Like, but like it's like I close my eyes, I'm gonna swallow, and then I'm gonna turn to Saint and congratulate her. And I'm like, and as I was about to congratulate Saint, and they were like, "You're also making it." I just like fucking going to like a weep, like oh my god, a wail of just like I and everyone, not even only Astrid, but like every single person got up and like hugged me. It was like a group hug, and it was so special. No, yeah, it's gonna be forever. Just yeah, no, definitely. Fuck yeah, Astrid's Astrid's so special to me. A lot of people in this cast is a blessing. Best thing to come out of this experience for sure.
I love that. And then, well, another thing with the reunion, I think we did get to see a lot of trying not to be, well, you know what? We finally got to see a little bit of closure though, with Betty and Jade, and that seemed pretty emotional. Because I felt like, yeah, that I felt like that was a big source of in the reunion going into, and I guess it seems like it's been squashed. And I guess coming away from the reunion, do you feel that, and just in terms of when you see there was so much that was aired and so much that, do you feel like things were left resolved, at least from your standpoint for you? Well, I don't think you, as you said, I don't think you really got into any drama throughout the season. So
well, but definitely I got to know them as people, and I'm kind of observing it from afar and even having conversations about it with some of these people. A lot of it was a lot of the times misunderstanding, and it happens. That's how a lot of the conflicts begins. And at the end of the day, you have to kind of find your differences and like acknowledge it and try to see it from the other person's view. And I think a lot of the cast did that, and that reunion wrapped a lot of things nicely up for like a lot of the times. And sometimes people don't get along, and that's just how it's going to be, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, we just kind of have to all step back and like realize it's an experience that all of us share that's not going to be replicated anywhere else. This season specifically is going to be, so yeah, I think whatever happens, yeah, it's just important to remember we're just drag queens, it's drag drama. When you are wearing these ridiculous costumes, getting involved in this drama, it's real. It's the emotions are real, the conflict is real, but at the end of the day, you have to step back from the situation and kind of acknowledge everything. But yeah.
all right. Are you excited? I would hope, but how are you feeling about the finale? Are you excited?
I'm shitting bricks. I'm so excited for it. This is gonna be so fucking awesome.
I can't wait.
12 looks, the same episode. It's a long ass episode, bitch, but you better get ready because it's about to be legendary when I tell you.
Oh, can't wait. I'm not looking forward to editing that, but I can't wait to watch. And then one final thing,
I think
actually.
I want to know.
Oh, go
I
ahead,
want.
guess.
I've got to go. I want to know because obviously the whole thing was the top 3 are getting to do the world tour. Has that is it now the top 4 definitely doing the tour? Or have they not said?
I don't know.
Well, I'll wrap this up and then
Whoa.
I do have a couple of questions, but
All
I
right,
will
go
stop the
ahead.
recording. Yes. So let me wrap this up. Well, again, just want to say thank you, everyone. Also, thank you to our guest, Kat. This is her first time with us. And then obviously, thank you to Hoso Terra Toma. Oh
Thank
my God.
This was so fun, guys. No, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, thank you for, I don't know. Yeah, thank you for having me. This has been a blast. Like, I'm so excited for everyone to see the finale. This is something that all of us has put our fucking heart and soul into. And yeah, hopefully, it'll be just as awesome as we experienced it in that stage.
I can't wait. And I'm just wish you good luck. And I'm so jealous of that viewing party because I know it's probably that's going to be a crazy ass viewing party.
I know.
And with that, I'll say goodbye.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.